Hey guys, welcome back. And we are discussing bailment and pledge, which is part of a special contracts of Indian Contract Act 1872. And this is the second video. And here we are going to discuss the concept of pledge. In the last video, we discussed bailment. As we guys are aware, as you guys are aware, under special contracts, we are going to study indemnity and guarantee, bailment and pledge and agency. And we discussed bailment in the previous video, and now we are going to discuss pledge. Okay, before we get into a discussion on pledge, let me recap what we discussed on in a bailment. What is bailment? What is bailment? Bailment, where person A and B are there, one person transfers the property, movable goods, and the transfer should be for some purpose, and then it will be returned once the purpose is accomplished. We took an example of a tailor where A gives a cloth to B, who is a tailor, and then he stitches it as a shirt and then returns it back to Mr. A. So bailment is something where transfer of goods happens for some purpose from one person to other. This person is called as bailer, the person who transfers, and the person who receives is a bailee. Correct? This is what we discussed. Let us discuss now what is pledge. Pledge is a part of a bailment of a goods. It is it is a one of the purpose for which the pledge transaction happens. It is a same as a bailment. Let's see an example of it. Okay, A needs some money. He needs some money, 10,000 rupees. Okay, he needs 10,000. Okay, he goes to B. Okay, he goes to B, who is a loan provider. He goes to B and says that so I'm going to transfer my Hero Honda bike, okay, Hero Honda bike to you, and you give me a 10,000 rupees loan, rupees 10,000 loan, okay, and whenever he returns back this loan, whenever he repay the loan, then the B will return the Hero Honda. Okay, the first case, A transfers Hero Honda to B, just the possession, not the ownership. He keeps it here and then takes a loan of 10,000. And whenever A gets back the money, then he repay the loan and then takes the Hero Honda back. Right? So this is a transaction. This kind of transaction is called as a pledge. Pledge is the bailment of goods for repayment of a debt or a performance of a promise is called as pledge. Means it is a transfer of a goods for the purpose of a loan. In the bailment, proper bailment case, the person used to transfer a goods for some purpose which may be related to service or repair or just custody, etc. Right? So this is a proper bailment. In the case of a pledge, the transfer of goods is happening only for the purpose of getting a loan. It is for getting a loan, some transfer of property is happening, and then it is called as a pledge. Okay, the person who is transferring here is called as a pawner, and the person who is receiving the goods and giving a loan is called as pawnee. So the rights and duties of pawner is same as bailer with some modification. The rights of pawnee will be same as a bailer with some extra rights. Okay, clear? The pawner is a equivalent term is a bailer. For pawnee, the equivalent term is a bailee. Okay, the person who transfers the goods is called as a pawner. The person who receives the goods and pays the loan is called as a pawnee. So now with this, the goods will be owned by Mr. B. The goods will be in the possession of Mr. B or the pawnee. Okay, guys, let's move to our next here. Now question comes, what is pledge, what is hypothecation, and what is mortgage? These are the three terms looks similar for a common man. Hypothecation and then mortgage. Okay. Pledge is, as we discussed, something you are transferring because of the loan, right? We always, when we say pledge, it is a movable property. It is not for immovable properties. Right? Here the purpose is to get some purpose is to get loan. In all the cases, the purpose is to get loan. And who will own the possession of this? The possession will be with pawnee. So A transfers goods to B. So the possession of the goods will be with the pawnee. Correct? This is the thing. Example. We have a lot of examples for a pledge where person goes and keep a gold, or where person goes and keep his car, right? Any other valuable items, securities, etc. Now question comes, what is hypothecation? Hypothecation is similar to pledge, but the difference is it is a movable property only. This is also for movable property. But here is also for the purpose is loan, but the possession in the case of pledge it will be with a pawnee. In case of hypothecation it will be pawner. The possession of goods will be with the pawner in case of hypothecation. Why? I tell you, you as Mr. A goes to a bank for buying a car. New car. When you purchase a new car, you take a loan. Banks give a loan and then you go to a shop, car dealer. So car will be handed over to you, but it will be hypothecated to bank. Hypothecated to bank, but the handover of the car will be given to A only, because bank has given a loan. There will be, on the document it says that this car is hypothecated to bank. What will happen because of this? Well, when anything is hypothecated, Mr. A will not be able to sell his car without the permission of the bank. Correct? So when A takes a loan and buys a new car, the possession of the car will be with the borrower only. Okay, the possession is with the borrower. In the case of pledge, the possession will always be with the pawnee, the whoever gives a loan. In case of hypothecation, the possession of the goods will be with the borrower or a pawner, and the document clearly says that this particular vehicle is hypothecated. So the borrower will not be able to resell his car unless he clears the loan. And if he fails to pay the loan, bank can come and take a possession. Okay, take a possession on the car. This is hypothecation. Then what is mortgage? Mortgage is in case of immovable property. Any loan, and again it is for loan, but a loan, the purpose is loan. The possession usually with the the person who is taking a loan, right? When it is with a pawner. Immovable property, whenever we pledge, we will be staying there, but we will pledge it to someone. We will mortgage it to a bank or someone, like taking an example of a housing loan. Right? When you take a housing loan, this is a mortgage situation where we take a loan, but we own that property. We live in the property. Okay, we live there, but it is hypothecated to some bank, or it is mortgaged to a bank. So in this case of mortgage, the ownership, the possession will be with a pawner or a borrower, right? In case of hypothecation also it is with the borrower. Only in case of pledge the possession is going to be in the hands of pawnee or who is a loan provider. Okay, you guys are clear with pledge and hypothecation and the mortgage. Pledge is for movable property and possession will be with pawnee. Hypothecation is for movable property, the possession will be with pawner or a borrower. In case of mortgage, it is for immovable property, the possession will be with borrower or a pawner. Clear? Now let us discuss what is the difference between bailment and pledge. So bailment is a wider term. This might be for many purposes. One is for repair, some like I may give it for custody or for getting some service, and even taking a loan, right? This is so this part of a bailment is called as a pledge. So bailment is for many purposes like repairs, safe custody, etc. Pledge is also a specific purpose bailment where it is for a loan. Okay, the transfer of property or a security is because of a getting a loan. Pledge is the bailment for a specific purpose, that is to provide a security for a debt. Okay, if I want a loan, then I will transfer a goods, that is called as pledge. But bailment is transfer of goods for some purpose which includes the pledge, some repairs, custody or whatever, right? Or some service. We talked about tailor or TV repair or just parking car in our friend's house or then transferring property for taking loan, transferring of goods for taking a loan. This is called as pledge. Okay, so bailment is a wider term and it covers all repairs, safe custody, services, etc., including pledge. But pledge is a special purpose bailment where the goods will be transferred to provide a security for a debt, security for a loan. In case of bailment, when one person transfers here, the bailee, we discussed during the bailee rights of bailee, he can exercise a right of lien, means he can hold the goods, right? He can hold the goods if he is not getting money or a repayment of expenses, service charge or repayment of expenses, right? When bailer not paying any amount, then bailee can retain the goods by way of exercising right of lien. But in case of pledge, not only the right of lien will be with the bailee, the pawnee, the pawnee can sell the goods. For example, A taken a car loan from bank. Okay, car loan. If he is not able to repay the loan, if he fails to repay loan, in this case, banker can take control of the car and sell it. Only thing is, before selling, the banker has to give some notice. The only thing important here is by giving a notice, if borrower fails to repay the debt, banker or a loan provider can sell the car. But in case of a proper bailment, the bailee can exercise only a right of lien, but he will not be having power to sell the goods. Okay, let's move to a new point, essential features of a valid pledge. So far we discussed what is a pledge and what is the difference between pledge, hypothecation and mortgage, and now we are discussing what are the features, essential features of a valid pledge. Okay, so the one important feature is the delivery of goods, the delivery of a possession of a goods. There should be some contract. Without contract we cannot deliver some goods. And then the purpose of the delivery is only a security for a debt. And then the fourth essential point is delivery should be upon condition to return. Whenever the loan payment is done, the security should be returned. Correct? So A and B B is a loan provider, and then A needs some money, 10,000 rupees. Needs money. In this case, he is transferring his car. So possession. So the delivery of a goods is happening here. That's the first valid feature. And the next one is delivery should be upon a contract. There is a contract between A and B, right? There is a contract. What is the contract? A is giving a possession of a car to B, and B is paying 10,000. After 3 months, A will return back and then take a control of a car. So there is a contract. There should be some contract. And B is giving 10,000. For that, the security is a car, right? So B is giving 10,000. For that, the security is a car. So the purpose is security. So he is giving a car as a security. And the fourth point is, once 10,000 rupees is paid, the car should be returned. The 10,000 plus interest, once everything is paid, then B has to return the car. These are the 4 important elements or essential elements of a pledge. There should be a transfer of goods, delivery of goods, and then it should be upon some contract, and then the transfer should be for the purpose of security, and finally the condition is once the repayment of loan is done, the goods should be returned, the security item should be returned. Okay, these are the 4 essential valid features, elements of a valid pledge. Few case studies just for a delivery of goods. We discussed during the bailment also, delivery of goods can be of actual delivery or a constructive delivery. Okay, what is actual delivery? Actual delivery means goods actually goes from A to B, from one location to other location. Okay, and what is the this is the actual delivery. What is the constructive delivery? Constructive delivery is the goods will remain at the same place. Goods, there is no change in the place of a goods. So A is here, B is here. Instead of transferring the goods from here to B, the goods will remain here only, but only some symbolic, some other transactions will be done. For example, the goods are in a godown. Then A gives the godown key to B. Okay, godown key to B. So it is constructive delivery. So goods is not moving from the original location in case of a constructive delivery. In case of a actual delivery, goods moves from original place to the bailey's place or a pawnee place. But in case of constructive delivery, the goods remain at the existing location, but there will be some other kind of transaction happens, like handing over of a key, etc. Clear? So the delivery of possession might be of actual or a constructive. Here is a few example or case studies from a delivery of possession perspective. First one is Revenue Authority versus Sudarshan Pictures. Okay, there was an agreement to deliver the film print upon completion. It is not a pledge. Okay, so there is a case where Sudarshan Pictures was producing a movie, and then they enter into a contract with other party A. So we have Sudarshan Pictures. Okay, they need some money, so they enter a contract with A. They stating once the film is ready, they will give a film print to Mr. A, who is a financier. Okay, is a financier. So at the time of contract, the goods is not exist, right? The film production is not completed. The film print is not in the hands of Sudarshan Pictures. They are saying there is an agreement that in the future, once the film shooting completes, then the final print will be given to Mr. A, who is a financier. Is this a pledge? No, this is not a pledge. This is This was held in the case of Revenue Authority versus Sudarshan Pictures. So the important thing is the good should be exist at the time of the contract, at the time of a pledge contract. Okay, in this case the goods is not exist at all. The film print will be ready after 6 months or 8 months. Once the shooting cut completes, the other post production activity get completes, then only the print will be ready. So that's why this is not a pledge. And here is another case study on a constructive delivery. So Bank of Chittoor versus Narasimha. In this case, Mr. Narasimha took a loan from Bank of Chittoor, where he pledged his projector and accessories. Okay, but banker allowed them to use the projector and other accessories, and they kept it in a theater itself. They remain with the pledges. They remain with the pledgee. So in this case, Narasimha, who is running a film theater, he took a loan from Bank of Chittoor, but he pledged the projector and accessories, but banker agreed to use the projector and accessories in a theater. So this is similar to a hypothecation, right? So the goods will remain with the pledge borrower only. Okay, the goods remained here with the borrower. So this is constructive delivery. What are the duties of a pawner and what are the duties of a pawnee? The duty of a pawner is he has to repay the loan, whatever the loan he has taken, and also pay the expenses in case of any default. In case of a default, A takes a loan from B, 10,000 rupees. If A fails to pay it, then B may go to a court and incur some expenses, right? So all the expenses in case of a default. So duty to repay the loan and any other expenses in case of a default. All this, see, B will be sending notices and then follow-ups. For all other expenses, whatever they incur because of the default, that should be repaid. So what are the duties of the pawner? Pawner is responsible to repay the loan and all other expenses in case of default. It is in case of default. What are the duties of a pawnee? The important thing is he should take care of the goods and he should not use it. The car is pledged, so then the pawnee should not use it, and whenever he receives money back, then he has to return it. So A gives 10,000 back here, and in that case B has to give back a car, right? So duties of pawnee is he should take care of the goods and then he should not use the pledged goods, and finally he has to return the goods when he gets back his money. What are the rights of pawnee? Rights of pawnee, if pawner fails to repay the debt, he can retain the goods. Right of lien, right? He can retain the goods. The first one is he can retain the goods, which we discussed in detail about in bailment, rights of a bailee. And at the same time, if there is any extraordinary expenses incurred on that goods, then that should be recovered. For example, A is here, B is here, A is a pawner and A is a pawnee. A handed over his car and B gave 2 lakhs rupees of a loan. Okay, and B is retaining this car. Okay, to protect that car, to protect that car, B spent some expenses on a car cover. This one can be collected from pawner. Okay, otherwise the battery drains out here. Battery drains out, he replaced the battery. replace the battery. In that case also you can take this amount from pawner. Okay, so any other extraordinary expenses incurred that can be collected from pawner. That is the right of a pawny. And the third one is right to sell the good. This is a special right which Bailey will not be having this, but Pawny have this particular Pawny has this particular right to sell the goods. If a pawner fails to pay 2 lakh rupees, in this case, Pawny, yes, by giving notice, within 15 days, if you are not returning the money, I am going to sell. Some notice, by giving a notice, Pawny can sell the goods to other parties, right? Pawny can sell the goods, whatever he has in possession. Okay, these are the rights of a pawny. Right to retain the pledged goods, and then right for extraordinary expenses, and right to sell the goods. And in any case, if the other right we can say is right to sue. Okay, if person is not paying the amount and everything, then pawny can go to a court for taking the money back from the pawner. What are the rights of a pawner here? Okay, rights of the pawner, two rights similar to what we discussed in the case of a right of the pawner. Right of the pawner are whatever the goods they have pledged, right? Whenever they repay it, then he can get it back. He can redeem whatever the goods are pledged. Okay, whenever the repayment happens, immediately he should get back his goods back. This is his right. He can claim for that. And right to receive the increase in profit or whatever. See, for example, we took an example in case of a bailment, the cow. Okay, A pledges cow with B, and after 6 months, if there is a calf, then B has to return both cow plus calf. Okay. Otherwise, if he has given a dog and there will be a pets, then B has to return dog plus pets. In case of securities, there is a share price which is of 15 rupees, but at the time of when we repay the loan, it might be 20 rupees, or there might be a dividend attached to it. All these things should be returned by B to A. Any increases in the pledged goods, that should be returned by pawny to the pawner. It is the right of a pawner to take all the increases in the transferred goods. Clear, guys? So, rights of the pawny and rights of the pawner. With this, the concept of we discussed bailment and pledge, and with this it comes to an end of our discussion on bailment and pledge. And in the next video, we will discuss indemnity and guarantee. Thank you.